What's going on, everybody? It's been about a week since the last video, and hopefully you're a week wiser. Thought I'd make another video, kind of as a continuation of where we left off with the initial one, right? Talking about poor choices, because interestingly enough, a conversation with a friend led me to this point about this topic. So I read something that fit very well with that conversation about poor choices. It said, ignoring advice will generally come with a self-inflicted penalty. So we were talking about that right there, what I read. And what this led us into was a conversation about how did we get into the hole that we're in now, right? So we made the poor choices. We're in kind of a nasty spot. How did we get there, right? Well, it's kind of a two-part piece. So it kind of stems from the focal point of this conversation was around having bad friends and ignoring sound advice. So what I'd like to do is start with the sound advice piece. Most life advice comes from a position of experience. You made a mistake, someone has had the same oopsie daisy that you're about to walk into, and they want to invest their time and energy in you so that you'll avoid making the same mistake that they can see you heading in this path towards. So my old man, my dad, right? Well, preacher man himself, he's invested a pretty significant amount of time in me and energy. From a very young age, he would give me advice on any manner of topics, things you would typically expect a dad to advise you on. And as I got older, this evolved into more serious topics and conversation. And he was no different. He wanted me to avoid making, these mistakes. He wanted his son to succeed in life. And my siblings, my sister and my brothers. As I approached graduating high school and as these conversations got more and more serious, that's when Dad said the phrase to me that experience is the best teacher, just like I mentioned before. And that's going to stick with me forever because it's tried and it's true. It has shown me again and again that it is an extremely accurate statement. Now, here's where the slip-up happens, right? So, one of two things in this particular portion, right? Not talking about the friends piece, just talking about the ignoring advice piece. This can kind of go one of two ways. And a situation has definitely arisen where Dad gave me an advice. And I thought I was the wiser, right? I thought in my brain, well, I think I can make the end result of this situation turn out differently than you did. That's possibility number one. Possibility number two is there's complete I'm going to ignore a sound thought process because of need and desire and want. Comparing them to each other, right? So you're going to ignore the advice because your personal desire, the thing you want that is over there, that is not at a good spot and not going to help you come to a positive end, is ignoring what you need. What you need is not always fun. What you need is not always the way you want to go. And that's what happened, right? My desire and my want overcame my that sound thought process that Dad gave me. So that's the second possibility. And that is one part that led you into the poor spot you're in now. That led you to make the bad choices. That led you to fall into the hole. Right? You're going to have to climb the mountain because, well, here we are. Anyways, luckily, so as I've aged and as I've made mistakes, because the older you get, you're going to keep making them. Nobody's perfect. As I've made these mistakes, luckily I've learned. And that's the process, right? You make a mistake, you learn from your mistake, and you grow as an adult. Hopefully each and every one of you out there is doing that, because if you're not, might need to do some self-evaluation there, friend. Um, I'm trying really hard to keep this under 10 minutes because I know life is very tight-knit and not everybody has time to watch these long 10-minute videos, so I'm doing my best. So anyways, life's full of mistakes, yeah? But hopefully I won't put myself in a situation where in the future I continue to follow that pattern that I did when I was younger of ignoring bad advice and having bad friends. So even today, yeah, I'll call dad. As an adult, I got 2 kids, I got a wife, got a house, all the stuff, right? And I'll call dad still. Hey man, I'm in a tough spot. Would you help me out? Because dad seems to have this endless pot to pull from. And I don't know where he gets it from. Well, I do, right? Dad tells us the stories of when he was younger. He made mistakes. He learned from those mistakes. He became wiser, right? So part of that is not necessarily wisdom from experience. He will tell a lot of stories from his dad or his uncles or whatever, the minister he grew up with. He can still remember those. And this pot that he pulls from, he has no qualms about sharing, no matter how uncomfortable it is. This is slightly humorous. So this is rather humorous because Dad has this awful tendency to forget these small details, these monotonous, just everyday life things, times of appointments, and little things. Hey, don't forget to pick up the milk. Mom and us kids, we will pick on him endlessly about his short-term memory. But this is where it kind of highlights the concrete portion. You don't forget those pieces of wisdom that have been ingrained in your life. And these things typically have come out of adversity. And that's some of the best ways that, as a father and a mentor, he has given to me and he has invested in me, is in that manner right there, right? Learning from experience, going through a tough spot. He doesn't forget that. You can forget all the little things, but he's going to take that and he's given it to me, and I'm going to take that and remember those stories and I'm going to give them to my kids. But beyond that, that's why I still call him. It's probably why Christina and Brandon and Andrew, all of us, still look to him and Mom for advice. These are the kind of friends that you want to have in your life, or mentors. In my case, it's a mentor, but friends can be the same, right? This is the kind of the other part of the beginning of this. A good way to explain it would be scripture, right? So today, as a bookmark, got a comb. I lost my chopsticks. Moving on in life. Let's see what I've come up with next time, yeah? Let's check this out. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. The first part of this is easy. And really what I mean by that is not necessarily finding the person. That's just going to take time in life. Once you find them, it's a simple choice. It's very simple. It's not complicated. You keep the person close. That's easy. The second part. Now, that's where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Because most of the time, if you've got a group of friends who aren't necessarily positive for you, it's kind of hard to see when you're up close, right? It's kind of hard to see when these people are being negative towards you and helping you make bad choices and you don't want to admit it. It's hard to cut friends loose out of your life, yeah? We like partying with them. We like hanging out with them. But it's not always good for us, right? They're not necessarily making healthy choices. And you're going to make the same choices they are. You're hanging out with them. Those aren't the people you want to surround yourself with. If you look at the second scripture. I got a morale patch as my bookmark. This kind of harps on that. Proverbs 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friends. It's the exact same thing, man. Surrounding yourself with positive people and healthy people that are going to help you make sound choices, right? Positive people. That's what you guys surround yourself with. Let them help you make good choices. I've fallen ill, kind of victim of the same thing, having bad friends. I thought people were good friends. I thought they were, gonna be with me until I was 50. But they gave me bad advice. They led me down a poor path. Led us in a dark place. And ultimately, it's just like we were talking about in the beginning of this video. Self-inflicted wounds. Self-inflicted penalties. Because you're doing it to yourself with those other people. I followed them because I thought they were my friends. But here's an important question you need to ask. What kind of friends are they? Right? It's like the comparison between the tree. Now, this isn't new. Okay, but some of y'all might not have heard this. There's roots, there's branches, there's leaf. The root friends, right? The ones who are at the core of your life. Sometimes just one or two. Sometimes it's 6 or 7. The number doesn't really matter. What matters is what type of person are they. They are going to be the type of people that help you weather every single storm, every single time. The core of your life. Without them, tree falls over. You're dead. You die. They're giving you all your nutrients. They're giving you your water. They're giving you all that stuff. You need those people in your life to survive. Some of your friends are like the branches. Some of them are important. Some of them are weaker. Some of them are just acquaintances. They're kind of this middle ground where things change and the definition gets a little bit weird. But the biggest part of this comparison is the leaf, right? What do leaves do on a tree? They provide temporary sustenance. They come for a season. End of the season shows its face. Leaf die, moves on, falls off the tree. Some of your friends are like that. They're meant to just be there for a season. Some people are so key on investing astronomical amounts of energy and time into people that were not meant to be there forever. They were just meant to be there for a season. Sometimes God puts people in your life to teach you something. They're there just to show you a lesson. So look, do yourself a favor. Don't follow that place that it took me years to learn. It was a poor place to go. Look, here's a good place to start. Evaluate your friends, right? And then, once you have figured out who's not necessarily healthy for you, look, it's just like poison. Poison comes in many different forms and fashions. There's ones that you can't taste anything, can't smell it. It's clear. You can put it in water, would never even know it's there. You got some of your friends are just like that. You know what? They're unhealthy for you. And they're going down a bad road. They have no qualms about taking you with them. You know why? They're having fun doing it. Don't go there. Start by evaluating those friends. Figure out who's bad. Figure out who's good. Cut the bad ones loose. Find your mentors. Find your close friends. Lean on them. Hold them near and dear to your heart. You have to be the person who's going to make the choice to make a change. And you start there. You know who's going to be the people when you're in this hole that we're talking about that's going to throw you a ladder, throw you the rope, reach down there and get their hands dirty to pull you out? It's going to be the roots. Those are the ones you need, friends. You want to get out of your hole? That's how you do it. Okay, ready to go? Let's do it. Time to go climb the mountain. Love you guys. God bless.